Good, good morning, ladies and
I went
gentlemen.
wrong
I am
first.
Yvonne Johnson with with Mary Brotherton, and this is our first free workshop for authors, for writers, for our authors we already have, for authors that have questions to that they need answers that they can't go anywhere else and get. We want to welcome Denise and
Ananda's there too.
Ananda. Good morning, Ananda. I hope I pronounced her
And
name right.
Ananda,
Ananda.
if you'll
Yes,
look
so
up in
welcome.
the chat a little bit, Ananda, you'll see the link. You can click it and join us live if you would like to.
If you would like to. And first thing before we get started with the meat of the matter, we are so happy that these folks have joined us. Once we close this out, of course, it will go up on YouTube. It will go up on all of our social media. It will go up on the website so that you can go back and you can refresh yourself. First of all, Midnight Publishing never charges their authors to edit, format, do graphics, book covers, or publish their book. We do all of that for you. And the reason we do that is because this publishing house is a God-driven publishing house. And when I say God-driven, I mean God-driven. A little bit of history. My publisher
Absolutely.
died. And when she died, I had two friends that said, what are we going to do? One had never been published. I had just sent her his children's book, and they were sorely disappointed. So I came home and I said, okay, God, we've got this thing here. What do you want me to do? And he said, well, Yvonne, if not you, who, if not now, when? I have been in this business for over 20 years. I was in this business when indie authors were looked down on as not being good enough. Well, I'd lived with that little statement all of my life, so I said, watch this. There were no resources, there was no social media, there was nothing. My first social media was MySpace. That's how far back I go. There was a group of 7 of us that supported each other, worked with each other, and got ourselves out there. So we literally broke that ceiling for indie authors. So those of you who are newbies, honey, we've been doing this for a hot minute. So I know what works. I know how marketing works. I know the industry backwards and forwards. I know how you can get scammed. I know how you can get sucked into something that sounds too good to be true, and it always is. So does Mary. So what I told God is, okay, I will do this and you get all the glory. We started this business in June of 2024. I started with 2 authors, the 2 that didn't know what they were going to do. By the end of the year, I had 6 or 7 authors. We are now up to 23, 24, just got another new one today.
A good round dozen, 2 dozen.
At least. The thing that I ask when you come on board with us is you trust the process and you trust me. Number one, I don't have time to be fighting back and forth because somebody that hasn't been in the business, doesn't know the business, doesn't understand the business, wants to tell me that they know better than I do. Been there, done that, we're not doing that anymore.
Certainly, your cousin's Aunt Sally's brother's dog walker has no idea what's going on.
Exactly. There's a lot that goes on in the background. There is a lot that I do that y'all never know about. So when I say trust the process and to trust me, that's exactly what I mean. We will get into that as we get into this workshop. Mary Brotherton, I have known for a hot minute, love her to death. I'm going to let her tell you about our relationship and why we are where we are today. So take it away, Mary.
I was working for a local newspaper. And those of you who are in Florida know what Senior Life is, what Viera Voice is. I know that Denise up in New Jersey has no clue, but it's a little community newspaper. And I remember the publisher sent me, I was the managing editor at the time, she sent me to do a a story on a group of authors and grab some books and see if I could start doing a book review column. I think I must have had 50 pounds of books at that time walking out the door. But it was the most amazing day of my life. I walked in there and I'm like, oh, books, authors, real people with real books. Because at that point in time, there's Denise. Hi, you made it in.
Hi, Denise. Welcome.
So I was excited because I had not yet published a book. I had oodles of books that I wanted to publish, but I still hadn't done it. So I was in awe of anybody who had a physical book. Then they were selling them and they could talk about that. And so I walked through there and I talked to all these authors. And then I'm standing there with a tote bag on my arm going, these are getting heavy. And then I looked up and I saw this, Andrea Dean Van Squake calls her the goddess. And it kind of felt like I had seen a goddess. But to be honest, I saw this little goth creature, no bigger than, she didn't look the hair on me, but she was wearing a top hat, like, whoa, way up here. And I saw her and I thought, oh, I have got to meet that woman. Don't know who she is, but I just knew I had to meet her. So I excused myself from the people I was talking to, and I went over and I talked to Yvonne. And it was one of those instant moments of, oh, there you are. I've been looking for you. We knew each other instantly, and it just felt right. And there's never been, and that was probably 20 some years ago. We kind of fuzzed the edges of exactly how far along it was. But Yvonne and I have been involved in many adventures, I'll say. When I first started the charity called Be Unique, that is no longer around, that's how I met Ananda. But Yvonne was on our board of directors for a while. She helped in tremendous ways with our very first event that we did. She introduced me to a podcast platform called Blog Talk Radio, which is interesting. It's also no longer around. Well, then I hear about her doing this midnight publishing, and I'm looking at it and thinking about it and going, well, she's not doing anything that I can't do. Is she? Maybe she, I don't know. Let me just let's go to lunch and talk about it. So we went to lunch and we were talking about the 5 books that I had published up to that point. And we were talking about the umpteen other jillion books that I have to finish. And Yvonne actually saw me spinning out of control. I was in a tizzy, trying to figure out, what do I do next? How do I choose which book to do? And I told her, oh, well, I've got this little mermaid book. It's called If I Could Be a Mermaid. I started drawing the pictures, but I've got to finish them, and it takes a while. And then I've got this book called The World's Best Grandfather, and I haven't started on the pictures for that yet, but I think I'll use AI. And I'm just jumping from story to story, and I had all these books completed, but didn't know what to do with them, because it takes a happy minute to go from a submission of a manuscript to having the physical book in your hand. And Yvonne said, Mary, stop it. I need you to do something for me. I'm like, okay, I'll do anything for you. She said, I want you to go home after we finish lunch. Make yourself a list of all your books. I said, easy peasy, I've already got a list. She said, I want a list of all the books you've got that are completed, that are ready to go. And then I want you to put the list, the books that are almost ready to go. And then the books that are just ideas. I'm like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. I just had them all on a big old gigantic list. She said, let's start with the ones that are ready. Send them to me. I'm like, but they're not complete. I need to do the illustration. She said, stop it. Let me do the illustration. I need you to trust the process. I need you to trust me, and I need you to trust God, because I am working as God's tool. He is showing me where I need to go, what I need to do, and you need to learn to relinquish control. And Ananda, you can talk about that if you need to. You've worked with me. You know how I like to be in charge. And I have a hard time, not so much now, but I did have a hard time letting somebody help me when I need help. It's hard for an independent person to just let go and to trust the process. But once I figured it out, y'all, was it 6 weeks? You had published 6 of my children's books with illustrations?
Yep.
And now here we are. Let's see, this is January. We started in July, I think. I gave you my first August, September, October, November, December, January. 5 months. I now have, oh dear, how many books have I got?
A bunch.
A bunch. More than a dozen. I keep wanting to say 17, but that's because I've got those 2 that I got in boxes, because I did it the hard way the first time.
Ananda has joined us.
Ananda! Yay!
This is beautiful.
So, in 5 months, look at you with those beads behind you. Girl, it's been a minute since I've seen you. You look gorgeous. I have published a total of 17 books in 5 years. 15 of those were in 5 months. I said 5 years, I meant 3 years. 15 of those were in 5 months because I quit obsessing. I quit trying to do it completely my own way by myself. I said, here, Yvonne, take this. You can do this for me. And she, y'all, Ramonda's extended warranty with, not the last book I did, but it was one of the last 3, I think, that I did. That one was a channeled book. I woke up one morning and there was a little spirit girl standing next to my bed. And she said, hello. And I said, well, hello, who are you? She said, I'm Ramonda. And I knew the name because Yvonne had written a story about her granddaughter named Ramonda, who died more than 10 years ago when she was 13 of an asthma attack. And Ramonda said, come on, I need you. You have to write my book. So I wrote this very short little book, and I knew immediately that it had to be a graphic novel. After I spent 1 day on this book, I mentioned it to Yvonne. I said, you'll never guess who I just talked to. And she said, who? I said, Ramonda. She said, I'm not surprised. So Yvonne helped me fill in some gaps because there were some things that Ramonda was unable to express to me, or I was either unable to understand it. That book, within, I think it was a week.
Not even a week.
Was Amazon's #1 bestseller in new releases. And it's been in the top, 25 for childhood and adult asthma category. If I had not learned to trust the process, if I had not learned to let it go, and trusting the process involves letting it go. And the reason I say that is because I think I've done this to you twice in the beginning. I'm not sure. I'd give her a manuscript, go, oh wait, I'm not done. I found a mistake. Well, who cares? I mean, seriously, I have been taking photos for 25, 30 years of best-selling books. I take a red ink pen, I point it to a mistake that I find in these best-selling books, and I take a photograph of it. One of these days, I don't know, right now I got them hanging on my wall, but I may do a show about it. I don't know. Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody is perfect. Nobody can catch every single mistake all the time. So when authors can learn to accept that and stop saying, gimme, here's my book. Oh, but I'm not ready yet. Here's my book. You can't do that. Ananda, you've worked with me on your book. And you understand, once it's out there, it's out there. And yes, you can take it down. Yes, you can unpublish it. But when you do it, like I told my son, every day you don't get your book published is a day you're not making sales. And most people don't care if you make mistakes. It shows you're human. There are always going to be a very small minority. And this is something I learned when I worked in that first newspaper. There's always going to be somebody who calls you up on the phone. Oh, they're on page 47, you have a typo. And on page 51, you need to print a retraction because that's blah, blah, blah. I am so sorry. You can't live your life for these people who have nothing better to do than find fault with what you've done because they are not willing to do it themselves.
So that brings us to why we have decided to hold these workshops. And the first thing that we are asking new authors is we send them the requirements. Our requirements are so minimal.
They're so simple. And I know because I wrote the requirements for Senior Life writers. I wrote the requirements for Be Unique writers. And Yvonne wrote the requirements for Midnight Publishing,
and they're so simple. It's 12-point font and New Times Roman. We publish all of our books, with the exception of children's books, in 6x9. They're easy to hold. They're easy to read. If that book is 79 pages or more, I'll automatically go ahead and put it up as a hardcover. Anybody else is going to charge you for that. And there are people out there that still read hardcovers. If you don't have graphics for your children's book, it's no big deal. I create them. Mary has
the graphic novels too.
And the graphic novels. And when Mary sent me Linda Humphrey's book, Mary was ready to pull her hair out, and Linda Humphrey was ready to quit.
Linda was ready to pull my hair out.
Because they could not get it up on Amazon.
We've worked on that book for over a year.
Children's books are different. You have to put them up different. Well, I figured it out. Because that's what I do.
You want to guess how long it took her to figure it out? 24 hours. The day after I gave her the files, and I gave her all the raw files. I gave her the story as a manuscript, and I gave her the images that I had created. And I said, please, see if you can fix this, because I'm really at my wit's end. I don't know what to do. Yvonne took it. The very next day, I see where she's posted that Linda's book is up and live, and I think 2 days later she sold a copy. It was crazy.
So, what we are starting this new year, Denise, I don't know what that is in your background, honey, but it sure is giving us some feedback. Turn your speakers down a little bit. See if that helps. There we go.
Hey, thank you.
Better, much better.
Sounded like a bunch of cicadas.
I was wondering what it was myself, because I
Yeah,
have
your
a
speaker-
quiet room. So I did.
So, Anada, I'm going to unmute
No,
you
I'm
because
in
I
a
want you
quiet
to
room, so I
participate.
try to keep everything off.
There
So
you
it was
go.
within that.
So
Sorry.
what we have decided to do beginning this year, and it's because we are growing exponentially. When I started this, like I said earlier, there were me and maybe 3 or 4 other authors. I never, in all of my thought processes, I never thought this thing would do what it's doing. I knew God had a plan. Wasn't sure what the plan was. But God is giving a voice to folks that don't have a voice through Midnight Publishing. This is all a God thing. Mary and I are just his vessels. And he's also kept Mary alive because she let go and relinquished control and learned how to
You know,
trust.
I really believe that if I had not learned to let go, I would have died when I had my heart attack.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
all of those books would have died with me.
Absolutely.
I don't believe that God tests us like a lot of people do, but I believe that God gives us opportunities to either let these obstacles get in our way or to let them be, speed bumps or whatever. I still have a lot more books that I want to finish, but I'm not in a hurry at this point. I mean, I was like, bam, 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 gotta get a book, can't just, I can't just take a minute and take a break. So God said, oh, you've got 17 books out now. Let's just stop you in your tracks. Let me just grab your heart and make it twist into 700 different directions. And now you have to take a break.
So what we're doing beginning this year, any new author that comes on with us, we ask them to sign a contract. And the contract simply states that they agree to trust the process, they agree to trust me, they understand that once they turn over their manuscript to me, I do my thing, I send the manuscript back with graphics and or the cover, they sign off on it and say it's good to go. I put it up, and then I get this email or this text message or this DM going, oh, can you take it down because, my sister over here, Susie Q, she's not liking that cover. I'll take it down. It goes underneath all my other books, and when I have to go rebuild this cover because one person in your, and when I say your, I'm talking in general, in one sphere doesn't like it, and that author doesn't understand that book cover was not made for that person, that book cover is made for the masses, I'm going to charge them $50. If I have to take the manuscript down because, like Mary said, oh, I misspelled the word thee, can you take it down? Because Aunt Susie found the misspelling and she just thinks that's horrible. So I need for you to take it down and put the book back, fix it and put the book back up. Sure, I'll take it down. Goes to the bottom of my pile. When I go to put it back up, I charge that author $50. It's only fair because we don't charge for anything we do here from editing, formatting, covers, publishing, and all 4 formats if possible, 2 for sure, 3 possibly, or even marketing your book. I do marketing every single day. In fact, today I was putting up short videos that are 7 seconds long on different books, throwing them up on YouTube, then throwing them up on the website, then throwing them up on social media. And believe me, those videos work. Because people have an attention span of a gnat, most of them. So that is why we are starting the contracts this year. And the purpose of the contract is to make the author aware that we're not blindsiding them, that yes, we do this at no charge because it is a God thing. However, and I've already had 3 authors do this to me. And I said, I'm done, especially the last book that I put up. I said, I'm done with this. They had already signed off on the book. It was already up. And then I get this text message, oh, we showed this book to whoever, and they found this and this. And I went, and they said, take it down immediately. I'm, okay. You understand the book is already up. And what it also does, Ananda and Denise, is if I have to pull that book down for whatever reason, there are algorithms that Amazon uses. And if I have to pull that book down, those algorithms stop. So we start over from scratch. So let's say that Ananda, your book is ranking at number 6 in a new release category. Well, I pulled that book down because whatever reason you want it, I put it back up. It starts at the bottom again. That's not fair to you because we need that ranking for your marketing to let people know, look, this is a new release. Look where it's trending. Go check her out. It's worth the read. So when an author signs that contract, they're telling me they understand that this will happen. So when I come back and somebody says, well, take my book down because Aunt Susie doesn't like the cover, okay. But understand you signed a contract that before I put that book back up, you're sending me $50 because I have redone the book cover. If I make a mistake, if I put your name up wrong or I misspell something, that's on me. I have no issue fixing my boo-boo, and I will own it. Gwendolyn got me the other day. She said, Yvonne, honey, there's no O, and my name like they're supposed to be going, oh, crap. So I had to pull her book down and start all over. What happens when a book goes live? In order for me to fix a title or an author's name, I have to completely unpublish and archive that book and start from scratch. It's a brand new book, new ISBN number and everything. And that was on me. Also, what happens when we pull those books down and unpublish them and we put them back up, you have 2 books out there. One that says not in stock, so if Joe Blow decides he wants your book and he says, oh, it's not in stock, well, now what? They don't know to go look that it's up again someplace else. So that's a potential lost sale. So I try not to pull books down. I want y'all to succeed. It's very, very important that y'all succeed. People were kind to me many, many years ago when we were looked down on. When I first published in 2006, and people, well, who's your publisher? I am. Oh, well, you're not good enough. We don't want you in our group. Okay, so
I've had that also from other authors. I mean, I was making good money writing for the newspaper, and people snubbed their nose at me because I wasn't a published book author. And I'm like, I'm probably making more money than you are by writing. But it wasn't the same thing in their mind. You have to have that physical book. And now that I've got 17, these same people are looking at me differently and wondering how in the world did I go from just writing for a newspaper to having 17 books published.
And people say, well, can you get us in brick and mortar stores? And my answer is always the same. Do you really want to try to be in a brick and mortar store? And the reason I ask that question is, have you been in a brick and mortar store lately? 20 million other books are on shelves that will never be sold. I would rather take the tools we have, like Amazon, and make y'all shine that way. We are in the 13th day of the first month of 2026. Some of my authors, we've already sold 62 books. One author sold 16 already.
Just this month.
Just this month. Because
in the last 13 days.
Yeah, there's constant marketing. On January the 2nd, we had already sold 4 books. Who sells 4 books right after Christmas?
Seriously.
I am here for you guys. Mary is here for y'all.
I'm just here part-time.
So now my question is, ladies, first of all, thank you both so much for joining this workshop. Understanding what we do, why we do. Now, what questions do y'all have? It's your turn. Nothing? We lost Denise.
Oh, we lost Denise.
Yeah, we lost Denise. Anata, have you got any questions?
I've got a question for you. Where are you on the Wild Goddess?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's still been paused. I want to pick it back up for sure.
Are you living life while you're supposed to be writing?
Am I
Shame
what?
on you. I said, are you living life while you're supposed to be writing?
Okay, so let me ask you this, Anata. You say, I want to pick it back up. How bad do you want this book out there?
It must not be very bad.
No, it's you know what? It's not as bad as me wanting to do more of the kids, because I started with the Love is Forever. That's why I hesitated, because I started with the Love is Forever, and I said to myself I wanted to do 2 more books to make it like, oh, you have 3 children's books. That's just what I saw. And I have the other one, the second one, life just, happened. It's typed up, and I don't know if it's enough for a book.
Do you remember how long it took you and me together to work on Love is Forever?
I don't remember, Mary.
Couple weeks, right? At least a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe a month.
Yeah, maybe.
How would you like to have your next book done within 3 to 5 days?
Yeah, because right now I'm caught up. I'm working on my stuff.
Okay.
If she's caught up, you can have it done tomorrow.
Send it to me.
So that was going to be my question then for you both, because will you tell me then, or should I already know? As far as, because it's typed up from when me and Mary and I had finished the Love is Forever, and my brain just started going with the next one, which is Together We Can, and I had typed up a good amount of it, but I don't know if it needs more.
Do you know? Is it similar to the way you did Love is Forever?
It is, and I have it. This one it's still in my for the iPhone it has the Notes app, because when my brain goes, I just start typing on my iPad.
As you should.
Okay, so it's still on there. I didn't transfer it to. What do I have here? I don't even have Microsoft Word.
We need it in Word document file.
Word document. Okay, because I don't. So what happens if that's the other thing? Because I have this MacBook, but it only has what is it called? Pages.
Pages.
I think. Is that it, Mary?
Because let's do this, because it is a children's book. It's not going to be long.
Right.
Email it to me.
Okay.
I can look at it and tell you if I think it's long enough. You only need it to be 28 pages for a children's book.
Right.
Now, the first page is going to be your cover page, your title page. Your second page is going to be your copyright page. And then at the back of the book, you can either have activities, or coloring book pages, or
Oh,
Bio.
your questions. You can have things that are related to. What is the name of the book?
together we can.
Together We Can.
That'll be fun to dig
That'll
around.
be so much fun because if we don't have enough words for the story to be 28 pages,
Then
Yvonne can create some little like coloring book pages, or I don't know, connect the dots is the only other thing that's coming into mind, or maybe like a list. How many things can you do together with your brother, sister, mother, whatever?
Somebody just said Yvonne can make it happen. Of course
I
they
saw
can.
that.
Okay, Anada, also what you have to understand, children's books are created on an 8.5 by 8.5 format.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only, at the most, 4 lines per page.
Oh,
Because I have the graphic on top of those lines. So if you probably have plenty for your little book.
okay.
The reason that you only do, for a children's book especially, at the most 4 lines per book
Mm-hmm.
is because you're reading to a child between the ages of 1 and, let's just say, 7 or 8 years old. They're going to get bored because they want to turn that page. What's next, Mama? What's next? And Mama's still going, well, we're not that. No, turn the page.
Yeah.
So you want those lines to be compact and only at the most 4. So I guarantee you've got enough for me to make that happen.
Okay. Okay. I think that's so. When I just last spoke to Mary just recently, I told her I had one, but I didn't really because I think Mary, you said let me know when you're ready, and then I was just like, yeah, I just think I need to maybe look it over.
Is that
Well, you know
simple?
how it is. Yeah, that's yeah.
Taught her
Yeah,
well.
Yes,
she
you did. Now unteach her.
I want to show Ananda something though. I don't
Yeah.
know if you've had a minute to look at what I've been doing, but we don't do. Here, let me see here. Let me show you this one. This was the very first new book that Yvonne did for me. Was my Little Mermaid book, and it was
yeah.
like that.
Uh-huh.
Then she took off doing something completely different. And this is what our pictures look like now.
That.
Yes.
Well, I like
This
them
is
both.
going to be the next best thing.
We are
And
trendsetters.
she doesn't do the little cartoony stuff, which is fine. I mean, kids like cartoons, but they also like realism and they like photographs. And they like to be able to relate to the people in the book. And Yvonne, like me, is all about diversity. I don't have to say I want this picture to be of a Hispanic child and this picture
Yeah.
to be of an Oriental child, Asian child. What is the word Asian? I don't have to tell her. She figures it out. She's very intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows what works with a given page.
Okay.
My giant book, oh my God, do I have that here? That was the cutest book.
And also, while she's looking for that, Anada, I've been marketing since I was 5 years old because I used to work for my father as a child. So I know marketing. And in this business, when you're trying to reach an audience, you want to reach a large audience.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to just reach your immediate family.
Or the black community or the white community or the gay community or the alien community. You want to reach out to everyone. Hold on a minute.
Which of my books are going to memory care units?
I don't know. Did you? This is what just, I'm sorry, Anata. Just so you know, some of your books, Mary, are starting to go around memory care units that love your books too. Wow.
I like it.
So anyway, back to you. I'm sorry, Anata. That just
No.
blew me away. Again, a God moment. So when
I can't find my Giants. I don't even know if I got it in yet.
yes, you
but-
did because you've been showing it. The only one that you don't have is Ramonda's that you should have gotten the other day or is coming. Anyway.
The last book I got was Ramonda. But let me
Okay.
show you what I was talking about at the end of the book. Okay, this is my Sharks Writers Right. That's the last page. See how she's got 3 lines at the bottom? But we needed more pages. Start writing. We gave them a page so they can immediately start writing. I think it went into 2 pages. And then another thing that she does, now, like I've got here at the back of the book about the author and the different books that I did. This was one of my earlier ones, but toward the end of some of my books, she started putting pictures of my previous books to fill up the gaps. So we can put Your Love is Forever book in there.
Okay.
There's all kinds of things that we can do to fill up space if we need to.
So we have the 24 pages.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
the minimum is 24 pages.
I thought it was 28.
No, it's 24. And what will happen is once I do your book in paperback, I immediately go to Kindle and put it up on Kindle.
Oh, okay.
Remember
Because
how we struggled with that? You and I struggled to get it on Kindle. And most of my books, if they're more than 79 pages, they qualify for hardcover and audio.
Oh.
as long as
You
they have
to have
chapters.
chapters for them to be audio.
And I use AI for Audible, and there's a reason for that. The reason for that is I have several of my books that I paid to have done in Audible. I wound up spending thousands of dollars for Audible. And when Amazon said, we want to try this beta system, would you be willing to work with us? I jumped on it. I want to give my authors every opportunity to shine. And Audible now is learning anything with artificial intelligence. Your television's artificial intelligence. My truck's artificial intelligence. Our computers are artificial intelligence. When we text, it's artificial intelligence. Because if you say I'm unstoppable and it comes back and says, you mean this? You're going, no, unstoppable. I can't tell you how many times I've had to retext something because my phone's telling me I don't know how to spell. And it doesn't know how to spell. So Audible is learning, and it offers various voices that I go in and run through the samples to see which one fits your book the best. Children's books, I like to use a soft female voice or a softer male voice because it's for children.
And you can get different dialects. Like Ramonda's extended warranty. I told Yvonne I really want it to be a Southern woman's voice, a young Southern woman. Because
Yeah.
that's what Ramonda would be 23 now. 4.
Brittany's 23. Let's see. She's been gone since 2015. This is 26. She's been gone 11 years, and she was 13 when she died.
Mm.
So she's 24.
So Yvonne found a young Southern woman's voice, and it just sounded so good. Denise, yay, come back.
Welcome back, Denise.
Like with my novel, Steep Steps, I said, I want it to be a man's voice, but I didn't specify. I might have said I wanted it to be kind of Midwestern, or because the book is set in Oregon. I didn't need to tell her that. I mean, she picked the perfect voice for it. Every book that she's picked the voice for, I feel like it couldn't have been any better if it had been a real, a human.
Mm-hmm.
I was very, very happy with it.
Okay.
So
Nice.
I can see the questions turning in your head, Ananda. What else have you got on your mind?
I guess for me is I'm wondering like how I was thinking already about, okay, if pages need to be filled up, I was just thinking about coloring pages. Then I was listening to you because you said the I can't say it right, audible.
Huh.
I was listening, like hearing voices as far as in just reading the book. So my mind was going there too. It was going in different places. I'm like, oh, then I was like, oh, okay, well, what would the third book be? Because I already pretty much did the second book. What would the third children's book be? I'm listening to you guys because it's like words. When you say certain things, then I try to put words with it and be like, okay, can I use that for the book? So sorry, my mind is just
That's quite all right. Now, let me tell you something, my dear new friend.
yeah.
If you want to create a coloring book, I can do that too.
Yep, she's published a few coloring books.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Now, this is something that has happened to me. Like I said earlier, I have 20 jillion umpteen books already completed or at different stages of completion, just waiting for me to feel strong enough to sit down and actually work on them.
Mm-hmm.
But while I'm working on one book, another book pops into my head.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just jot down some ideas and I come back to them later. But like with Ramonda, that wasn't an option. It came like that because that's how spirit works.
Mm-hmm.
God says, do, and you better jump.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, he's going to take the idea away from you, but he's also going to take away other ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got some ideas of what you want to write,
Denise, turn your
there
speakers
goes
down.
that buzzing sound again, Denise.
Turn your speakers down.
She brought her crickets back with her.
It's what is going on.
Turn your speakers down
That's
a
what
little
I
bit, my
tried
friend.
to fix, and I got myself
Perfect.
knocked off. Is that all
Don't
right
be
now?
knocking yourself. Yeah, you're fine now, honey.
Better, yeah.
That's why I
So
got knocked off, because I started to hear what was going to bother you, and then I got knocked off. I'm not used to the Riverside thing yet. I've only
Yeah.
worked on Zoom.
If the books are coming, the ideas are coming, don't shut them down, don't tamp them.
Just write it.
your ideas and come back to them whenever
Okay.
you can.
Okay.
But what I find as I finish a book, except for now, I mean, it's like I can't even think about books. All I can think about is marketing what I've already got. And I know that once I get past Valentine's, maybe Easter, God's going to open up my mind and go, okay, now we can play. Let's go write.
Did you
But-
see in chat? I'm interrupting you. The favorites so are the Flamingo, Lizard Patrol, and If I Could Be a Giant. So they will be ordering.
Nice. I love it.
So see, Ananda, what is happening? You, and this is for you and Denise as well. What is happening? Again, is a God moment. And I tell everybody at the beginning of our shows on Wednesday and when I do my lives, God is driving this train. I'm just sitting there going, okay, tell me what to do. This is such a blessing for y'all. So, Ananda, don't wait. Get us your book. Let's
Okay.
get you out there. Because I'm going to tell you, Mary will tell you, when I keep hearing, I wanna, I shoulda, I'm thinking about it, what? And when she says, but I go, what? What did you just say?
Mm-hmm.
There's no but in these conversations. I do not accept that word. And the reason I do not accept that word is I have a brother, and he is the total reason that I took a chance many, many years ago with people saying, but you're not good enough. And I wrote his story because he's mentally and physically challenged. He was born in 1952 when there were no resources. The doctors told my mother he'll never amount to anything, put him away somewhere, forget about him, just have more kids. He's not a puppy. So anything that my brother set his mind to doing, he would at least try it. He never said, I can't, or but. He'd go, yeah, I can do that. Stanley, your coordination skills, okay. It was a but, I can do that. Okay. Far be it from me. So the words can't and but and someday and I wanna, they have no place in our little family. And when you become part of our family, we will protect you, we will support you, we will encourage you. And when you start using those words, the mama bear comes out in me. I'm all, what?
I told Yvonne one time the only but in my vocabulary is the one I sit on.
There you go.
I like that.
And once you get that first book out, just a thought, could you read to those in nursing homes and brings books possibly to sell? Maybe. We'll have to think about that one.
Well, it's funny because it says you wrote that.
Yeah, but I didn't. They're on my page. I guess they're on my page. But that's okay. I didn't write that. That's somebody else writing that. Could be another.
Yeah, that is something that we can do, and you can do that with libraries and schools as well.
Yeah.
I have now 2 books about organ donation.
It's Carol.
Carol, welcome. We didn't see you. Yvonne, you want to
Carol.
put that link there so Carol can join us?
I can. Denise, do you have a book that's ready to come out?
Yes, I do. I had shared with Mary an email that it's handwritten, and it's actually been finished since March. It's more about my cancer journey that I've been fighting, and Carol and I are good friends through Dave Pettigrew. We support him as an independent music artist.
Yeah, I know, Dave.
So she's the one that knew that I needed to try to get this out there. And I attend the church where they had the writing seminars and everything else, but I just didn't have the funds to go on those retreats. And,
Right.
And then it would just sit there. And I write poetry, and I've been writing poetry since 2009. When I was younger, I've done it, but I've had like manuscripts. They're typed up. The book isn't. I handwritten it all because, as you can see, I feel like I have trouble with the computer and don't want to save anything and not have it saved.
So what you do, this is what you do, my dear friend, is put it on your computer, and then you get what I call, it's one of these, and not of this is good for you too. These are external hard drives. You save everything on an external hard drive, and you can get them on Amazon. They're like $20. I get a terabyte at a time. I have 3 of these. That tells you how many files I have.
And that's for a laptop? I'm on a laptop.
That is because I use it on my I've run out for 2 laptops.
Where would it go?
It would go. You should have.
It's like a plug-in. It's a plug-in.
You should have a USB plug-in somewhere on the side of your computer. So what you do is you get one of these off of Amazon, and you put your manuscript. You type up your manuscript because I got to have it typed. I got to have it in a doc file.
Exactly.
Because I don't have time to be putting up manuscripts. So
yeah, this is going to take a while. It's an
that's
actual
okay.
book.
That's okay. So what you do is you type it up, you save as, and then you look for whatever drive your external hard drive is on, and you save it on that external hard drive. When you need to go back in to do a revision or whatever, you pull it up off of your external hard drive. Once you have it on your external hard drive, when you save it, it will automatically or should automatically save on that external hard drive. That way, even if you lose everything on your computer, you've got your files.
Got it there.
If you don't want to, if you don't want to get one of these, which I absolutely love, get zip drives.
What's up?
They're zip drives. They're called zip.
Like zipper? Okay.
They're
zip
called
drive.
zip drives.
I'm writing it all down. I take a lot of notes.
The thing is, you should, whatever you're doing, I save it on my computer as well as on here, and I have file on top of file. It's redundant how many files I have saved. I have a second computer I work off of. I had 3, and finally my other one died, and it was my favorite, but it was 15 years old. So get your manuscript ready. Let's get you on board. Anata, send yours to Mary.
Okay.
She'll translate it to a doc file for me, and she'll send it to me, and then we'll just have so much fun. I'll send you the requirements, and I'll send you the contract. Just
Yeah.
I also will need your email.
Okay.
Have you friended me on Facebook?
I don't think so, Yvonne. I'm in the group, but I didn't friend you. I'll friend you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Denise, you friend me
Yeah,
as
if you
well.
friend Yvonne, you don't miss anything. And she tries,
I
both
think
of
I'll
us
double
try to
check.
tag others and share posts. That is one of the things that we do that other publishers don't. We promote each other.
Exactly.
And it's very important in the indie world, because Midnight Publishing has no budget because we have no money. It's that simple. We just do because we can. And so the best advertising, and I learned this from my father. My father had the second oldest heating and air conditioning license in the state of Georgia. And he started his business in 1949. When my father retired from heating and air as well as the local, he was almost in his 80s. And he was doing heating and air for the great-grandchildren of his original customers.
Wow.
All he had was a business card and a handshake.
Yeah.
So word of mouth, and in our case social media, works. We tell 3 people.
does.
Because Midnight Publishing is up on YouTube, it's up on WordPress, it's up on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Mastodon. What else am I on? Facebook, all over the place.
Blue Sky.
Blue Sky. And that we're everywhere. And what happens is when I put things up on YouTube, I automatically go and link it to Twitter, Tumblr, LinkedIn, and blog. Then when I put it up on the website, it automatically links to everything else. So you're always going to be out there. And then when I put it up on our social media pages, I tag you in it. So then you can take it and say, okay, friends, here it is. Please share. And you reshare it. And it works beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you get a review, anytime you get whatever happens, send it to us and we will run with it.
It's 2 o'clock.
What else you got, Mary?
Well, this is something we'll talk about in a future class. We'll talk about some of the ways to turn scammers on their ear and use their words against them.
Do that really well.
Yes. And as far as the contract and guidelines, I can send those out to them
Okay.
today.
All right.
And then that way you'll have them. And I don't mind helping, like, especially with the children's books, if they're real short and small, converting them to the Word documents. But it's so important that you find a way. I mean, you can, if you use Gmail, you can convert your Google Documents to a Word document.
Oh.
Now, if you try to open it, look at that little puppy dog face, like a little pit bull. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah, because Mary, I'm on Google Docs all the time because of work, so I know how to do
Use
the
Google Docs, go up to the file, and it'll say, well, hold on a minute. I can't remember exactly what it says.
It'll ask you how you want to export
How
it.
do you want to save it? And what you do is you just say convert, I think it's export maybe. Come on. But you tell it how you want to save the file, and then it has an option of saving it as a Word document. Now,
Okay.
my son tried that. When he did it, he tried to open it and look at it, and it kept going back to Google Docs. So you go up to File, and you can say it's download. You hit the download button, and then there's a little arrow. And Microsoft Word DocX is the very first one. So you click that, and when you get it, you just attach that to an email and send it to Yvonne.
And
The tables are back.
I know I can, and then when I get it, I will go in and reformat it to the 8.5 by 8.5 format for the children's books. That is no big deal. Because what I do, and this is what I do with Mary's books, Mary sends me the whole children's story. And then I go in and I break it out and go start hunting for the graphics. And Mary will tell you, I don't use the first graphic I find. I'll pull down 6 and 7 graphics for 1, 2 sentence page, and then pick the one that best goes with it. Then I'll put it all together, and then I will send it back to you to look at. And once you say, in the meantime, I'm looking at how am I going to build this cover? What's this story saying to me? When I am reading y'all's books, your manuscripts, my mind is like a movie because I'm seeing book covers dance around in my head until one goes, oh, that would be me. She will tell you. Faith and Folly, she sent me a couple of things and said, what do you think? And I said, how married are you to this? And she was, what? How married are you to this? Let me show you something. And I thought she was going to come through the computer because it was exactly what the book needed.
Yep.
So
I think the only cover that I was totally in love with and married to was Steep Steps.
yeah, and that one needs to be upgraded. It really does, but we'll work on that down the road. We got to get it selling first.
Well,
Or
can I
maybe
ask
we
you
need a
ladies
different cover to
something?
make it
Yes,
so.
ma'am, you can. What's your question, honey?
So, a friend had got this MacBook Air for me because my other one was just
Right.
Can't hear.
so. This doesn't have the it doesn't have the Word and all of, obviously, because that doesn't come with the MacBook Air. Is there a way that I can look and see? I don't know if it's expensive. I don't know how you do that as far as getting
You
Word.
can't use Word on a Mac. Found that out, believe it or not. But if you have Google Docs,
Yeah.
you can go into up in the left-hand corner, Mary was telling you, go up into
Yeah.
the left-hand and save it as a doc file, but you
Okay.
can't reopen it. Just put it as an attachment and send it on to me.
Okay. Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, will do. I didn't know if it would be better if I could
Oh.
try to get Word on here, but you already answered my question though, Yvonne. So I
Yeah,
can't get Word on here.
because my Word is a Microsoft program,
Uh-huh.
and Mac, I think, has their own program. Mary, I think I'll do some research for her and see if she can convert it somehow. I'll do some research, Ananda.
Okay, Yvonne. In the meantime, I'll go in because I know how to do the Google Doc. I'll go in and do it that way. I just I didn't want to cause any extra thing for you all, so that's why I was.
We'll
And that's
figure
why we have the contract.
Yeah, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Because I believe in you two ladies. I believe in what your stories, and I want you out there.
I just
And
put Yvonne's email in the chat.
Yeah, that's my email for
Anything to do with the books.
yeah. Now, are there any other questions? Mary's going to send both of y'all the requirements and the contract. And Ananda, I know that with yours, we have to do a workaround, and that's no problem.
Okay.
So, and if both of you have any questions, any concerns, you can contact either Mary or myself. I'm going to put Denise on mute because I can hardly hear.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why it's doing that.
That's all right. When you get ready to talk, we'll unmute you.
And just text us if you've got a question or something.
There it is. Sometimes
Every time-
computers have a mind of their own. They really, really.
I know. And it threw me off trying to silence it again.
That's
somehow.
okay. It's okay. It's all right, honey. This is our first workshop. Usually it's just me and Mary aggravating the public. So
Every Wednesday.
Like I
we
said,
have
I was just only
a
used to
live.
Zoom and never been on Riverside, so I'm like, okay,
Well, Zoom-
it's not much different. But I'm trying to.
Zoom was
Navigate.
just causing us problems, so we decided to use
Yeah.
Riverside.
And so what's going to happen now is when we close this, I will put this up on, it goes up on Amazon Music, it goes up on Apple Music, it goes up on Spotify, it goes up on Mixcloud, it goes up on YouTube, it goes up on all the social media, it goes up on the website. So every questions that y'all have asked, everybody else gets to hear the answers as well.
Mhm.
And as the year goes on, what Mary and I want to do is bring on our authors and let them tell their story. I'm going to start promoting their books. So keep that in mind, ladies, that we'll be saying, Anada, we got a date here. How about joining us?
No problem.
And don't be afraid to talk. That's what
I'm
you're
not.
here for. There you go.
I believe in testimony, and just sometimes I don't even stop myself. He just makes me say it.
There you go. Denise, your book is about your journey with cancer, right?
Yes, it's actually titled Glorious Appearing Hope.
Nice.
I like that.
Very nice. I can't wait to get my hands on
And
it.
for a short story of that, I also would write Christmas poems and put them
Nice.
in Christmas cards for the last 16 years. Last year, I had just realized that the first book, being titled Glorious Appearing Hope, because fighting cancer or anything is about hope
Right.
and holding on to that hope and everything and spreading hope even while you go through it. That's what he has used me for. I spread it while I go through it or have gone through it.
Right.
But with the poem, the very first Christmas poem I wrote was Glorious Appearing Hope.
Wow.
So 15 years later, he's revealing, look, first poem you shared for everybody to really read them for Christmas, and then the book. And then your title of your company, Midnight Publishing. Many times I like the story of Paul and Silas, and
Yes.
lots of times just hear the word "and suddenly." So I really
See?
try to say the only time I would use but is for but God.
There you go.
But I have to admit,
But God.
I do have to admit I do slip up and say, well, it's this, it's that, la 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 la. And then
So
go break back in prayer and fight again.
mhm.
But that's the short version of why I
So
guess
you're gonna
the
send
title
me.
come up.
You're gonna send me your poems too, so we can put it in book form.
Well, that's what I was thinking first, that possibly the poem book might have to be first
That's
since
fine.
the book is longer. I also have poems, not recent, but I mean, I started fighting cancer, December of 2021 into 22. Like it
Wow.
started into the new year 22. Um, oh, what was I going to say with it now? Jeez. Oh, the poems. So I was able to sit outside. Of course, underneath an umbrella, don't let any sun get to me while I go through the treatments. And it's a book simply called A View from the Porch.
Wow.
Even if it really isn't what I'm viewing outside while I'm outside, it was my views of what I'm feeling, what I'm going through,
Right.
yeah. So if anything, it might be the poems first. And that's the question I have to ask is, should the book be 100 pages, 100 poems? I heard that before.
Denise,
So I don't, like, how many should
This-
there really be?
here at Midnight Publishing, as long as the book is 24 pages long,
Right?
I can put it in paperback.
Yeah, because I have like about 40 of them, of that book.
We
I
can.
counted them the other day.
If you're ready to release that, if you've got it
Right.
ready to go, we'll make it.
They're off, like they're my own typings, like written by Denise, so I have to probably retype them again. Is what I'm.
Are they on your computer?
No,
Get 'em on your,
they're typed up, but they're in a binder.
all right, get them on your computer
Right.
in doc form, in Word form, Word doc form. Send them to me. I'll make it happen.
And yeah,
Denise,
like,
I can
give
answer
you
your question about the 100 poems.
right.
If you have 100 poems, send them. But don't delay thinking I have to have 100.
Right.
There's no minimum.
So I can have less is really what I'm hoping for. I don't really want
Yes.
to like overindulge it. I've seen it
if
happen
you have-
to someone years ago.
I mean, I don't know how long each poem will be. You know, some might be 1 page, some might be 2 pages. Because you're going to put them on a 6x9 format.
Right. Yeah, that's what I wrote.
If you do that, some of the poems might run into 2 pages, maybe even 3 if they're long poems. But you need at least 79 pages to have the book turned into hardback.
Which I like paperback myself.
But there are
people who like the hardbacks and they will buy
Yeah.
them.
Right.
Each poem needs to be a separate chapter. That way, Yvonne can turn it into an audible. And people who only want to listen or maybe can't
Or I can't
hold a
see.
book or for whatever reason, they can listen to your poems. But I used to get sucked in, before I met Yvonne, I got really sucked into this thing of, oh, it has to be this length. Now, there are certain things. It can't be any shorter than 24 pages for a children's book. Can't be any shorter than 79 pages if you want it to be hardcover. But if you are waiting, oh, I have to have 100 poems, then and you only have 50, you got to make more. You got to make more. Stop thinking that way. That's where you lose the trust the process.
Right.
My very first book was memoir. It was about angelic encounters, near-death experiences. And I kept thinking, I've got to write more. I need it to be bigger. I need more. I need more. And then,
Or Adam.
and then one day that little voice, that little voice you hear, said, stop. Publish it now. If you want to put more, you can write another book. And that's where Faith and Folly
Makes
came
sense.
from. So
Yeah.
don't get sucked into, I have to have this number of pages. Or
Yeah,
this
because the
number.
way it stopped should be the way it is then.
And let me worry about the page count. You just write.
Right.
Y'all let, and this is what Mary understands. Let me worry about the page count, because I know how to fix it.
Yes, she does.
I make magic on many levels. So you all, you just write and send it to me.
And we'll send it through the email, each page. kinda
No,
like-
No.
Oh, that's probably where I got lost at in
You need the
transition.
full manuscript.
Okay.
I will send you.
How to send
The
it is the
guidelines.
idea.
Don't mail Yvonne anything until you hear back from me.
Right. Okay.
Please.
And let me
I
tell you,
forget to say please sometimes.
let me tell you what
I
happened.
mean, I'm just trying to figure out how the manuscript. I need as I have to add it
The whole
into
purpose of
the
a
hard drive, so it
manuscript-
gets
okay.
sent to you. I gotta learn all
Denise,
that.
Yeah, you have a manuscript, which is the entire thing,
Right.
or you have files. You have individual chapters, individual stories, individual poems. That's not a manuscript. The manuscript is one document with everything in it. That would be
Beginning,
like
middle, and end.
if Ananda or I wanted to send in a children's book, and we send Yvonne 4 lines at the time. You know, the book's only
Yeah, that was
29
yeah,
or 30 lines.
Yeah, I didn't know if that would be page to page. As far as the poetry book, I know
Well,
not with
all
the
right,
book.
let me tell you what
I
happened
understand it now.
when I first started this, and I got a new author who had been sitting on this beautiful book for 25 years. She asked me if I would do the book, and I said absolutely. Bless her heart, she sent me each chapter in Google Docs plus the pictures. What happens when that happens? I have to go and pull, copy and paste each page into a manuscript. Things
Right.
get lost. So, and that is so time consuming. Then I have to go back and edit it. Then I have to go back and format it. Then I have to go back and recheck it. Then I have to go back and put page numbers in. And because we were new and this was so important to her, I did it, and it took me several weeks.
I see that. Yeah.
So that's why I say I have to have the completed manuscript that I can just go and do what I need to do. And Ananda, yours with your children's books is easy because your completed manuscript is maybe 2 pages long. But when you get it back, you're going to see it broken down into book form with the graphics.
Okay.
So if because I see the wheels going in Ananda's head. Oh, but she's going to complain because I only sent her 2 pages. No, 2 pages. I expect that for a children's book.
Okay.
To me, that's a completed manuscript. In fact, I think one day Mary might have sent me 1 page. And it turned
Yeah,
into-
I think, I want to say, If I Could Be a Mermaid might have been 1 page.
1 page.
Because look at this, y'all.
But by the
This is-
time
this
I
is
was
If I Could Be a Mermaid. Look how thick it is. Now, this is The World's Best Grandfather. Look how much thicker it is. Because it's a different book, different story. So don't get hung up on word count. Now, I'll say this. In the publishing industry at large, I am not including Midnight Publishing, but the overall publishing industry, they're going to tell you your debut novel can only be 80,000 words, or your fantasy novel can only be 110 words, or your children's book must be X number of words. Your romance can be, it has to, you gotta fit into these little pigeonholes. Yvonne doesn't have pigeons.
No, they're
So-
too messy.
She's got flying monkeys, but she doesn't have pigeons. Yvonne is breaking the mold everywhere we go. She is taking books like Sherry Ann Richardson's 25-year-long dream and turning it into a coffee table book that is,
Phenomenal.
it's insane. Because so many people will tell you your X genre book can't have this in it. You can't put that in your book. You have to stick to the genre. Sherry Ann's book is called A Chocolate Lover's Garden. It's a gardening book. It's a sustainability book. It's a cookbook. It's a historical book. It's a health
Patisserie.
book.
It's a patisserie book.
It's a little bit of everything. And Yvonne and she worked together on this to create something that has helped Sherry Ann blossom. I mean, I haven't known her as long as Yvonne has, but even I have seen this woman come to life and start stepping into her own dynamic. There is, I'm going to say magical. There is something magical, something miraculous about being a person who wants to write a book one day and being a published author. It transforms you. It changes your perspective on who you are, and you will not believe how people look at you differently. Ananda, I don't know if you've had this or not, but when people find out that you've published a book, do they look at you and go, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Hey, I mean, my sister, I have been a writer and an avid reader all of my life. I've been an editor since I was old enough to hold a crayon and a cereal box because I was fixing their mistakes. My sister, who's only 2 years younger than me, I went to visit her 2 years ago, and she is taking me all around our hometown and introducing me to people. Instead of, hey, this is my sister Mary. She's just, she and I grew up together or whatever. Hey, this is my sister Mary. She's a published author. Or this is my sister Mary. She's got a best-selling book. It blows my mind how her, not perspective, but her way of looking at me changed. I guess it is perspective. It's just, once you get the first book out, you're not going to be able to stop. You're going to find, because this is what I've learned from my perspective. God gives us talents. He gives us skills. And he gives us gifts. We can take these gifts and stick them under a basket and hide them from the world. And we can die with these gifts never revealed. Or we can step into the light and let Yvonne help us get these. I'm getting chill bumps. This is crazy. We're pushing ourselves out there. And yeah, it's hard work sometimes. I pushed and pushed and pushed myself into a heart attack. But because of that, I'm now able to understand the value for rest and rejuvenation. And I'm going to be able to tackle my next book from a different persona. Because once I got the first book out, it was like the second book, the third book, the fourth book, boom, boom, boom. And to have 6 children's books completed in 6 weeks or less. I think she did them in a month. Every time I turned around, she goes, okay, I got this one ready. I got that. You got anything else? What else you got? What else you got? So don't get hung up on page numbers and genres and what other people have told you. Don't get hung up on what other people expect from you. You expect nothing less than whatever God has given you to do. And you take it and say, okay, God, I'm here, I'm doing it. What's next?
And when your book comes out and you're showing it to your bestie or your auntie or Joe Blow down the street, and they go, oh, well, that's nice, but I don't like A, B, C, or D. You look at them and you say, I didn't write it specifically for you. It's written for the world.
My husband is the king of, I don't like that font. Why did you choose that color? And I give him a book. I say, make your notes. Give me your notes. I'll take them under advisement. I take them and I just file them in the trash can. I don't care about his thoughts. He's not a writer. He's not a publisher. He's not even a book reader. You know, if he was an avid reader, like both of my sons are readers, I might take that with a little bigger grain of salt. My husband doesn't like books. He has no say. And if he watches this video, which he won't, he would probably come back and argue with me. But no, he has no say in how I write my books.
And the thing that I ask every author is this, because this is one of the questions I asked Mary about a cover. Because there are 400 million books out there. Think about it. 400 million books.
Just on Amazon.
Do you want to stand out or do you want to blend in? If you want to blend in, then nobody's going to see you. Trust the process, you will stand out. People will go, that's your book cover? What's inside? Because when I do a book cover, and Mary has seen me do book covers left and right, the front of the book cover is what makes that reader pick up that book and look at it and make them want to flip it over. And when they see a book, all right, this book cover, From the Balcony. Now,
What
doesn't
exact value is going on?
Doesn't that make you want to say, what
Right
is going
there,
on?
she's just sitting there looking like she's thinking about what's for dinner. Over here, somebody's falling off the balcony.
Makes you want to read the synopsis and then open the book. So the book covers that I create do not blend in. They stand out. And that is because each of you stand out. You are not a cookie cutter. You are not all in the same little square box. Denise is unique. Ananda's unique. Mary is unique. And that is the way that I want the readers to perceive you. Number one, the book is not the brand. The book is the byproduct. You are the brand.
Yes.
So we sell you. The book will sell itself if it is created correctly. If it is created to jump out at people and say, here I am, pick me up. You know you want me. And this is what we do here. I have had to have a conversation with a couple of authors because they go, well, you know, Aunt Susie doesn't like my cover. I didn't do it for Aunt Susie. Aunt Susie is one person in a world of millions.
Billions.
Will every book be for everybody? Not every book will be for everybody, but there is a book for everybody. So just remember that.
And
Most
Ananda,
people,
let me
when
tell
they
you,
Go ahead.
You said you're doing like a trilogy of your children's books. You're
Yeah,
gonna
well, I just wanted to
find
do three. Yeah, just three children's books. That's all. And my goal, it was just like, okay, because I already have the second one that I'm going to send to you guys. I was like, oh, if I could get a third one, that would be awesome.
You will.
I
You
don't
will.
know.
Trust me.
you're gonna find once you answer the call, these other books are gonna come. So don't be surprised if you have a fifth or sixth or seventh book. But you cannot expect your book sales for all of your children's books to be the same. My giant book, because I wrote 3 books so far. I have more to go. If I could be a giant, if I could be a mermaid, if I could be a butterfly. I really thought the butterfly book was going to fly off the shelves. Yeah,
Not yet.
it's not. Mermaids and giants, yeah, baby, they're
Raising-
going.
We don't when we promote your books and when we ask you to promote your books, the mindset that I want each of you to have is I am going to do it one book at a time. If I sell one book this month, I've succeeded. You've already succeeded because we've got your book out there. You're already a success. And you say, one book at a time, because Sherry Ann was asking me when we first started with her book, she was so disappointed because The Chocolate Lover's Garden was such a dream for her. She was so excited, and it didn't just start jumping off the shelves. And I said, Sherry Ann, we do one book at a time.
What about Andrea's Gothic Chapel?
Oh, yeah, welcome to Crowhaven Chapel. She was so disappointed. That book was so close to her heart. It's spiritual inspiration for the goth community. And she said she kept having people say, you need to write one. So she did. And for weeks, it did nothing. And now it is slowly selling one book at a time. Sometimes it just takes longer for things to catch on, and this is where I come in. I go and I take the book covers and I go find Grok and I do a video and I tell the narrator what I want it to say, how I want it to say it. I put it up on YouTube. I start putting it up everywhere, and before you know it, I look up and we've sold even more books. And with each of you helping each other, this is how, as a family and as a group, we are successful collectively. And that is the whole goal, because this is a God-driven publishing house. God has put me in this place for a reason. Is it to tell Denise's story? I'm sure it is. Is it to Ananda to tell your children's stories? I'm sure it is. Because look where we are today. Mary and I were going to do workshops in a building somewhere, and I got to thinking, we have people all over the country. Why should they have an
if we did a
experience?
workshop, then Denise couldn't be here.
Right. So we have the tools. Let's use them. So here we are, and I'm so grateful.
Talking about AI, what are we using right now?
AI.
We're using Riverside. This didn't exist 5 years ago. Didn't exist, I don't think, 12 months ago.
No, it didn't. This is all brand new. These guys are all brand new. And when Blog Talk Radio folded, I had a show for, Ramonda died in 2011, and I had my Blog Talk Radio show up until I lost my husband in 2018. So that's how long I ran my show. Mary piggybacked off of my show when she started Be Unique, and she's wanting to know how to get out there. I said, piggyback off my show. Then she went and opened up her own show. But Blog Talk Radio folded, and I knew that I wanted to get back into podcasting because this is how you reach people. And I found Riverside. And then I thought, well, Mary only had the free Zoom. We could only have 40 people. What happens if we have more? So I said, we got Riverside. Let's use it.
Yeah.
Let's don't waste our resource. So we have been on here, my dearest ones, for an hour and a half, if you can believe that.
Doesn't feel like it.
So what I want to do is I want to wrap this up and ask both of you if you have any questions, any concerns, any thoughts. If you've enjoyed today's workshop, get together, whatever you want to call it, round table, whatever you want to call it. Ananda, what about you, honey?
Love this. This was good. A lot of good information, and ready to continue on with my whole
We're
writing
planning
journey.
one every month.
Yeah, every second Tuesday of the month, we'll be doing this again. Denise, do you
So
have
what
any
subject?
questions, any thoughts, any?
No, it was very good for me to be on here today. Right now we have Sacred Season in for our church. So Tuesdays right now I go to 12 p.m. prayer, but look where Lord said I could be right here right now.
Because you're still doing a service.
Yes.
Because your story is going to help someone else who is on a similar journey.
Yeah.
And this is, I'm gonna tell a story about my sweet Carol Bellavance. We were sitting on my front porch one day and we were talking, and she said, I have all these thoughts. I said, okay, write them. Send them to me. I'll publish them. Well, I drug her into this business kicking and screaming because she didn't want to put her name on the first book. I
And
said,
look where
Carol,
she is today.
Look where she is.
yeah, I said, even in the Bible, the writers of the books of the Bible use their name. God has given you a talent. He expects you to use your name for his glory. Well, we got the first book out, dragging her kicking and screaming. And now she has out What is Lent, Advent, Holding on to God's Hand Through the Storms. There's another one,
4 or 5.
What God is Showing You. She's working on one, at least 2 more. So we know there's talent. We know that each of you have a story. So you are doing a service, Denise. Anada, you are doing a service. And I'm going to tell you, when you send me your little children's book, I'll find a theme to promote it by. If I could be a giant, when Mary sent it to me, I wrote her back as I was putting it together. I said, Mary, we can use this for anti-bullying.
And I had no idea
Wow.
that I had written it that way. I was just thinking, if I could be a giant, I'd be bigger than you and I'd make all the rules and nobody could tell me what to do. And Yvonne's reading it and she goes, oh my gosh, this is what a kid thinks when they're being bullied.
So
And
that's
I
how
never
we
thought of
promote
it
it.
that way. So now we're promoting it as an anti-bullying book.
So every book has a theme, whether you see it or not. Every book has a theme, and I will find that little Easter egg. Thank you, Mother, wherever you are. My mother used to say, when you read a book, read it with an open mind, because you learn something. Carol says, thanks for pulling us out. You are welcome,
It's
Carol.
kind of like pulling teeth, isn't it, Carol?
So with that, my dear sweet friends, we will close this, because I know Mary's probably getting tired. And what I will do, once I get all of this archived, I will also put it up on our social media. This thing runs live on Off the Chain. It also runs live on YouTube, but I put it back up on YouTube. And I will put the links up and tag all of y'all, and then you can share it on your page and say, this is what I learned today. Join us the next time.
And let me say this. I know this is kind of along with marketing, but it just kind of fits right now. When Yvonne puts something out on her one page, on just her Facebook page, it hits a couple thousand people. I don't know how many friends she's got. But then I share it. and it hits all of my friends. And then Carol, who is really good about cross-posting, she shares it, and it hits her friends. And so when Denise shares it, that's more. And in a different market, you're up in New Jersey. So you got more friends probably in New Jersey than you do in Florida. And they will be wanting to buy all these books and learn. They'll be coming to other workshops. And then Nanda is the same thing. She's got friends all over different places. And they're going to, this is networking in its truest sense, but we don't call it that. We just call it sharing.
And love. And
love.
appreciation. And support. And God's work.
Oh, it's definitely God's work. I 100,000% believe this. This is...
We are put on this earth to serve. And just because we're not out with our Bibles quoting scripture, we are still serving.
Mm-hmm.
And God gets the glory. Believe you me, when I started this, I had no idea. I was just going to put my books up with a couple of friends and move along. And God said, well, it's you. Guess where you're going, lady? So I am truly blessed. And we will close this workshop. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've not attended one of our workshops, they're every second Tuesday of the month at 1 o'clock. Carol says, can't wait to see what he's going to do. You are welcome to join us in the chat room as well as live online. Anada, my darling. Oh, and this is one of my final thoughts. You ladies are all beautiful. Never allow anyone to steal that beauty because they do not have your permission.
That's right.
So understand that. You're beautiful, beautiful women. I am honored and humbled to be able to take you two on as new, aspiring, outstanding, successful women and authors. So thank you both for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. We will put the link out. Feel free to join us live. Join us in the chat room. Go and look at it, listen to it in archives. It will be up on all of our podcasting sites as well as social medias. Mary, as always, I love you, my darling.
Love you.
Are we doing our podcast at 10:30 in the morning?
Yep.
Okay. Podcast it is.
I don't know what we're talking about, but we'll figure it out. We'll
Sounds
probably talk about today's class.
We probably will, which is wonderful. Denise, you are so welcome. Mary, have you got any final thoughts before I close us out?
Yeah, I do. Trust the process. The process comes through Yvonne from God, and it cannot lead you astray. Learn to let go. Learn to relinquish control, Ananda. It is so liberating to not have to do it all yourself.
It also frees up your creative process.
Oh my gosh, yes. Because I want to say there were 3 books that I wrote after I started with the books that I already had on file. These other 3 books just popped in and I'm like, I got a new book I got to finish. And Yvonne said, well, take your time. And within a day or a week or whatever, the books were done. They come like magic because we allow ourselves to receive the message. And once you receive that message, you can't deny it.
Or it'll keep you awake at night. How well I know.
Yes, it will.
All right, my lovelies. We're working on 2 hours now. We are an hour and 45 minutes in. So we will close this out. And the good Lord willing, I will see you ladies next month. And hopefully with some newbies. Share this. Know that I appreciate you. I adore you. I am humbled. And I can't wait to get this journey started.
I'm excited.
Me
Thank
too.
you.
Well, you're
I
gonna
will
send.
send you. I will send you the stuff we talked about.
All right. And Mary, I will talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. Bye bye.
Thank you, ladies.
Bye, ladies.